Welcome to Farmhouse Fabrics, everybody. I can't believe we're actually saying that today.
We're back.
We got our internet back yesterday morning, and we were like very nervous about it.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, the Hurricane Helene, tore us up here. South Carolina had, North Carolina is horrendous. No comparison as far as the loss, but there's tremendous loss in our area, and some people are just today getting back their some power.
Mm-hmm.
I think Stephanie Dabbs just got her power on,
And still
so
tons without.
yeah,
They're still working.
2 weeks ago, yesterday was a Thursday, and we knew that Hurricane Helene had a chance of maybe we'll see some rain from that.
Right. And a little bit of wind, but
And
we definitely weren't expecting.
we're a long ways from the coast, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
But the eye of Hurricane Helene came right over our area, right over Augusta Beach Island. We're right next to each other. And
not in the way that you would have thought. I mean, normally we're worried about it coming in from the Charleston area, from our
that's
coast,
right.
but this came all the way up Florida, South Georgia.
So we
us.
were the westward side, which is the worst side to receive damage from a hurricane. We were on the westward side. Many of you know that we've taken lots of our pictures for the Classic Sewing magazine at a wonderful state park called Red Cliff State Park, Red Cliff Plantation, with beautiful, beautiful trees, and they had tremendous loss. The trees, it's just sad to see them all down.
Mm-hmm.
All the way through Augusta.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful trees. We just never get hit with this kind of wind. It was, for us, 80-mile-an-hour sustained winds for maybe more than an hour.
Right.
And more than 100-mile-an-hour wind gusts, right?
Right.
So,
and wide. I mean, over miles and miles and miles
and miles. It didn't spawn as many tornadoes here as in Florida with Milton this past week. And so we are in the process of building a house after ours burned down last year. And when my husband and I are staying down about a quarter of a mile down the road, and we woke up, when the power went off at 4 a.m. on Friday morning. And all of a sudden it was like, oh, it's really dark it's dark in here. Well, the day before, I said to my husband, hey, you know what? Do we have any flashlights? Because, it might be, our power might go out. He said, oh, that's a good idea. Let me look around. He took a couple of little flashlights down. Little did we know, right?
Yeah.
That we were going to really need those things. And so anyway, about 5:30 in the morning, the winds by then, I think we'd seen the worst of it by then. And he said, well, I'm just going to drive up the road and make sure, see if our house is still standing, the new construction. He was back within 5 minutes, and he said, we can't go anywhere. So between the driveway where we're staying and the driveway to my shop is about a quarter of a mile, and there were 12 trees across the road. 12 huge trees. And then he told me that the huge oak tree right in front of my shop had blown over, completely uprooted. It's huge. It's been there forever. And I'm like, oh, what did it hit? And it came after we had the fire. We thought we were going to have to live in a camper, and so we bought a camper. And he said it came down right between the camper and my shop, and it makes me want to cry because I thought if that had come through the shop, I don't know if I could have recovered. I don't think I would have recovered from that. But anyway, looks like we're continuing.
Yeah.
Because God ain't done with us yet, right? And but then he told me the sad news that our across the street neighbors on Church Road were in bed, and a tree came down and it killed them both. And they were about our age. Very, very sad. So there have been a lot of losses, but then in the midst of all that,
people are wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, seeing the best.
Yeah. They just stepping right up, aren't they, Christy? Man. So we have been without internet. Regina got her power back. My friend Regina Karish got her power back, and she's in Aiken, and so she's maybe 30 miles from us probably. And she and her husband offered to print our orders. But the thing is, we didn't have any way to ship them without having internet. Right. And so, that was so kind. And she and John, her husband, brought meals to us and also to the people whose pool house we're living in. In whose pool house we're living.
Yeah, can't end with that preposition.
Yeah, don't end with a preposition. They were so kind and thoughtful. And that's the way it's been. It's been your friends, your neighbors, the churches. Yeah. The churches are just like
amazing.
Yes. They're staging areas. The churches are staging areas for all the linemen coming in and volunteers coming to. They've cleared people's driveways. They've come from out of state. It's been incredible.
We've had linemen from all over the country.
Yeah.
I know there were people from Kansas and everywhere just working. So appreciative.
I saw on Facebook a picture of a long line of ladies, and some linemen said, well, what are those women standing in line for? And they said, they're standing in line to get our laundry, take it home, and bring it back. Isn't that something? Yeah. Yeah, it's really pretty overwhelming. So that's who you need to depend on. You need to depend on your neighbors, your friends, your church people. Churches, even if you don't attend that church, they've been there for everybody in the community. Yeah. It's really, really touching.
Amazing.
So now it's 2 weeks in a day, and yesterday our internet came back. But because I work with younger people, they know some tricks.
Younger, that's fabulous.
You're younger than I am.
I am younger than you are.
Yeah. So we used Chrissy's hotspot, and we were able to stumble along, and I went to Costco and bought a couple of new laptops that were a little quicker than our old ones, and Emma sat there and she printed orders, and I marked the things that were out of and whatever, and Chrissy was answering everybody's emails. And so then the girls came to work on Tuesday, and this week I believe we might by this afternoon have finished all the orders that get caught up.
Yep.
But anyway, some of our customers live in other countries. Some live across the country and don't have any idea that we have been through a hurricane.
And I just want to say thank you to our customers, though, because y'all have all been so kind and sweet with your words and your prayers, and we appreciate that so much.
Yeah.
It's touching.
I know, and really I'm kind of thankful that we haven't had any rain in 2 weeks, but now they're calling for outdoor fire bans, because the firemen, they need to get water to put out fires if there is one. So don't be outdoor burning bans.
Right.
And so anyway, here we are. So can we tell you something? What?
Let's not talk about us. Let's talk about the yard sale real quick.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Wesley yard sale.
So we don't attend church at Wesley, a church in Evans, Georgia, but we volunteer. They do 2 yard sales, and one in the spring and one in the fall of each year, and all their proceeds go to missions from the sale. So Sally, me, and Diana have been volunteering there. This is like our third or fourth sale. Anyway, it's fun. People make donations. We sort, put stuff up, and you would not believe the amount of donations they get.
Oh, yeah. Tremendous.
Well, as part of a benefit for volunteering at the yard sale, then we get to shop first. So we were supposed to shop on the Friday.
Well, no, it was actually...
We were supposed to shop on the
Thursday, September 26th.
But it was raining. So then they said, well, everybody come Friday afternoon. Well, that didn't happen. And the church just got power back, 2 days ago this week. Anyway, go ahead, Tom. So last night was our day, though. Yesterday evening was our day to shop. Finally, it rolled around. And so we went.
Yeah, it was fun. I should have brought I bought a set of suitcases.
That's what I thought you had. That's why I started. That's why I brought it up at all.
I have a picture of it. I have a picture of it. I went over there and they had masking tape and I'm like, this is for, well, what's this for? Let's see if I can bring it up.
That's where Sally famously volunteered 20 hours to get her peanut butter jar for coffee.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I don't know if you can see this. It's for
Can you read it?
That's what you're showing them?
Yeah.
Let's go to the overhead.
Wait,
the overhead
I'm
is
on.
for,
Okay.
can we see
Can you
that?
zoom it?
Yeah, I think they can see it.
Is it backwards?
No, well, no, not on there. So if you twist
It's
it
front
like
and center.
that, well, which way? It's really.
Well, how much were you getting for it
Oh.
for that thing
So $25
for sex?
for sex, but. So we
The things that tickle us. I don't know. We're like a bunch of third grade
we
boys.
were just laughing. So I guess they put the masking tape and they were writing like this, and it's a T, but it's kind of crooked. And I'm like, what? And so we pulled it aside, and when my husband came to sit in where we could pull our junk in the circle around him, he's like, what is this? What is this? I said, that's for the set. That's for the set. And he's like, oh, okay. But anyway, it was nice. It was a whole Ralph Lauren set, maybe 5 pieces. And like, whoa. Whoa.
With a bonus.
Yeah, a bonus. But I got something really cool.
Oh.
Let's see if they know. How many of you, I know some of you will know what this is. How awesome is this? This was $5. Now, I would have paid somebody $5 when I was growing up
To do it for you.
to take it away from my house. So, my parents, I mean, we put up everything. We put up applesauce, tomato juice, and all of that. So, that's what this is. This, like, this little mallet thing. You'd pour your hot cooked tomatoes in here and do this, and this is over a pan, a dish. And all that tomato juice would come out of here, and then all this stuff would go to the pigs, right? And well, then apples, make your own applesauce, cook those apples, and you're doing like this. And that stuff was hot, and we'd be doing this. But I was excited. I was excited to find this.
Love it.
And who knows, I might use it one day, you know? My kids all have gardens. I used to always have a huge garden. But now that you have kids doing
they can bring
gardens, yeah, they can bring me stuff and I'll make tomato juice. But anyway, have you ever used one of these? Aren't they fun? Isn't it neat? I think it's so fun to find that.
And all together, that you got all 3 pieces.
All of them. They were all taped together. And $5, I was willing to pay $5 for that. So that was fun. And then Christy and I worked in the craft area, and so this year they had us, we used to also be involved in the pricing, but they decided to do it differently this year, and we bagged things together and taped them together and made assortments and all that, and then other people came in and did the pricing, which I was glad, because actually they priced things way lower than I would have, and so I bought a bunch of things. Now, if I had priced it low, I would have felt guilty for buying it at that price. But, man, there was a whole sewing box assortment with rotary cutters, really good rotary cutters, and
Thread.
gooseneck scissors, yeah, Orifil thread and all that. But they have $2 on that. And I wrote on there, a masking tape, sewing assortment, and they could see through it, too. But obviously somebody priced it who
Doesn't. So.
never bought any sewing supplies. I'm like, cool. That's great. And then people have donated a lot of scrapbooking supplies.
I thought you were going to say
And
yarn.
my granddaughter, Charlie, went with me. She's a thrifter. And I said, would you girls use this paper? She said, oh, yes, we would use that. So I bought a big stack of paper for the girls to
that was a great
to do
deal.
crafts. That was fun. And Christy got some really pretty dishes in the blue and white. They were so pretty. Oh, and I got a cooler. That was a good thing,
That
right?
was good.
Because
We used
when
that last week.
yeah, we didn't have a cooler. All our coolers burned up in the fire. Guess what? Our generators burned up in the fire. We did not think we'd need one. So, but we lived through it, and here we are, right?
Blessed.
But yeah, blessed, yep.
All right.
Mary Rawlings, she said they used to make applesauce with that.
Yes, it's so good, and you can put different kinds of apples in there, and I could just see it coming out these little holes, and we scrape it down, and hot applesauce with cinnamon on it. It's really good. Yum. All right.
Diane said, so glad to see you today. Nice surprise.
Yeah, kind of
What
a surprise
surprised
for
us?
us. Yeah. We're like, are we going to be able to do it? Let's do it.
Oh, you want to talk about that
Oh.
first?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the final issue of Classic Sewing Magazine, and ours were delivered yesterday to ship out. And it has so many pretty things in it. And so, the prettiest thing of all,
And she's not partial.
I'm not partial, our ad with my grandkids in it. It's called Merry Making.
Do a close up.
Okay, we'll do a close-up. Look at that. And when the photographer was taking pictures, the kids were like, have you ever done a picture where you stack everybody up and the oldest is on the bottom, and then they went on up to the youngest, and she said, no, but I'm happy to try. And so they were just giggling and laughing and having a good time. That was fun. But then Kathy McMakin, sweet Kathy right here, love Kathy, she asked me if I would do a quick article on sewing with silk charmeuse. So we happen to have some extra pictures of the girls in their silk charmeuse pajamas, and we had written a Thursday here. I'm going to go here. A Thursday tidbits. Yeah, there we go. There we go. A Thursday tidbits on sewing with silk charmeuse, and so she said that would work. And so we have some more pictures of the girls, and a lot of you.
I was about to say, yeah.
Oh yeah. You've seen the kids grow up over the years in our ads, but if you look closely, some of you might recognize your Christmas ornaments that you made for us, donate and gave to us last Christmas. Regina organized that. So a lot of these, most of them are handmade Christmas ornaments that that came from our friends. What else? There was something else in here that was so pretty. Oh, I just think this is so.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's like snowflakes or something. This is by Susie Gay. Beautiful blue and white. Beautiful. And we'll show more of these when we get going in our Gavin Gush again. And lots of velveteen. Gorgeous velveteen. These dresses by Charlotte Potter. With beautiful velveteens. Love these. And then we have, this is a wonderful plaid bishop dress by Gail Doan. And we have, this is Gail's dress in the green plaid. And we have a kit. We'll have to look to try and do a red plaid. But this is Gail's class.
Oh, the
Can you tell me the name
Emma?
of that?
Yeah, it's the
Bishop Trio.
Yeah,
the Bishop
Trio of Bishops.
Trio of Bishops. And so this is a kit for this plaid bishop in green. And then, did I have another one in there? Maybe not. Gail has some beautiful wool coats in here too. But anyway.
Yep, I love it.
Then we had 3 deliveries today. They were all waiting. So here are a couple of things. What do we have, Christy?
We have some printed linen.
Isn't that pretty?
Floral,
I love
beautiful.
that. Let's hold this
So what?
up this way since we're going to look at this. I love that.
It's so pretty.
Yeah. This is definitely a directional fabric, a directional lint print with the flowers all going up this way. That's pretty too.
Yeah.
Same weight, I think. These are not online yet, but because the truck just left. But it said, oh, I got to show these. Look at that blue and white. Looks like your dishes.
It does. Beautiful.
So we're kind of trying to get back in the saddle again.
Yeah. Sally was lost.
You know what? It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Because it's
Yeah, it was hard. I missed everybody for one thing, and because my husband refuses to admit that he has a hearing problem, when you talk to him, he doesn't reply.
you have to tell him what you did when he had
When
when he had his
Oh.
his appointment.
he had a physical this week.
Yearly,
and
just normal.
the and the just a regular checkup. And when the doctor's office called, I really love this office. They asked, was he there? And I said, no, he wasn't there. And she said, well, I just wanted to ask him a few questions to make it faster when he checked into his doctor appointment. And she said, maybe you can answer the questions. And I said, I can answer the questions. And so
After 50 years of marriage.
yeah,
Of course.
plus, yeah, on the 24th of September, that was our 50th wedding anniversary. So I think I can answer most of the questions. So she was asking, like, is he depressed? And I'm like, not any more than anybody else right now. Everybody's depressed after the hurricane. And so then I said, I'll tell you what you need to do. You need to check his hearing. And I can't believe they didn't do it.
And they didn't do it.
But
Yeah.
he might be lying to me.
Yeah.
Or they might have asked him and he didn't respond because
Yeah.
he didn't hear him.
Every time they go to Costco, she tries to get him to get
Yeah,
the hearing test,
yeah.
but
And so I said, listen, I'm about to kill him because I talked to him and he doesn't respond, or he acts like he heard you, but you have to make him repeat it, and he can't repeat it. I'll say, did you hear me? And he said yes, and I said, well, what did I say? No, that's bad, isn't it? I sound like
It might be like ignorance is bliss.
I know, ignorance is bliss.
selective hearing, is that what they call that?
So I don't understand that. If my foot hurts, I go to the doctor, right?
She's lying. She is lying. This woman never goes to the doctor.
But
Step on a needle. The needle went through her foot, y'all, for a year. And then, what was it, 11 months later, she's like, oh, I can't
Here
even
it
tell
is.
y'all it's terrible. The needle's coming out the top of her foot. Yeah.
time but now I don't have that deadline. We have to make a deadline.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still going to hire the two of them, so that'll be my deadline.
Yeah.
And the kids do love to be in the pictures.
Right.
So we hope that we'll be advertising on, maybe social media. We'll be doing other things. We're trying to come up with plans and ideas and brain. So that's all
it.
I know today. You know anything else?
I don't. I do not.
We're praying for our friends and Nate are
Yeah,
out there.
you're needed.
They're out there using it. Somebody said, if you've never used it